right. So for generativity is the willing to engage in things that support younger generations' well-being to protect long-term success and survival rate. So basically, people who reach their middle-aged adulthood stage, they will, after they find some sense of their own identity, they'll try to find ways that they can improve and share things for the next generation. Erickson's theory for generativity, it's the seventh stage in the major developmental life stages. Like I said prior, it basically occurs when someone finds their own self-identity and then they can learn how they can contribute to society. Um, and then I think it's an easier way to help the new generation when someone already knows their self-identity. Um, the reason I liked this theory the most was because it was kind of straightforward in a way, but it also showed like the detailed version of how people gradually reach generativity. The gender roles and contribution to generativity, I was looking at some research and some of the results showed that males actually have been found to have a higher generative consciousness, but for the females, they have a higher will and they're more willing to make those contributions to society. So males basically they kind of think it, whereas the females take more action. And then for the Loyola scale, I scored a 45 out of 60 with when I added up the results from the 20 questions. And when I researched the results, it showed that I had a relatively high generativity. And I think the way my personality impacts those results is I've always had a high interest in other people. And with that, I also want to like find ways to impact those people. And then with my future career, I want to be a counselor and concentrate with those who struggle in trauma. I think this shows generativity because I do want to help the younger youth. And with that, I can kind of give them advice and strategies on how to get through with life, both physically and emotionally. And then currently my status, I kind of find myself to mentor those who are younger. I have a younger sister, so she's leaving for college in a year. So I kind of do my best to step into that role and kind of get her ready for the real world per se. And ways to improve generativity just in general is develop new relationships. You can invest in others, learn a new skill and try teaching others those new skills. And then lastly, this is just kind of advice for anybody. It may seem small, but something I think that can benefit someone when it comes to generativity is to not force it. So I feel like when people try to force it on people, it's not meaningful and it's not sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when their attentions are pure, their talent and they use their talents, they'll have a bigger impact on the younger generation. And then those
Mm-hmm.
are my references.
This looks great. I love it.
Yeah, I
It's very
appreciate it.
short and sweet. Yeah, and that thing about the gender, which says that the male species are like more consciously aware,
Hmm.
whereas when it comes to parenting, the male species is kind of like off track, and the mothers
Hmm.
come in. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
contradicting there. Um,
Yeah, it's
it-
definitely a little weird.
right? Like by studies, it might be proven that men are having more conscious arrangements, but
Mhm.
in general view, as a woman, I could be biased to think that mothers have more value towards their children than men. What are your views on that?
So for me, I'm big on like it kind of depends on every person's different,
Yeah, of
but
course.
looking kind of on the basics, I kind of agree in the sense where women typically, especially in parenting roles, take more actions
Mm-hmm.
where because I feel like they have a natural like nurturing um side, whereas with the males and like the fathers, they'll have like the good conscious reasons, but it's just easier for the moms to act on those, if that kind of makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does totally make sense. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop
Um,
quick. You got this, girl.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So hi, my name is Anushka. We both study in like 358 class, and we are doing a collaborative assignment on generativity. Um, okay, it just paused. Yeah, okay.
Love
So
technology.
generativity. Um, I've just given my definition here, and my definition means to help younger generations to have a better life and the experiences um, we have that should help them grow, making the younger generation understand the concepts that they find hard to understand, so we can play as a role model and be a part of their community. It also means that we learn from them as much as they learn from us. Support comes from understanding, and understanding comes from communication. So, communicating and being open as much as one can be is really crucial and beneficial for a younger generation. I also believe that opening up, that having an open mind can help a lot, making them understand concepts. And we should always like be non-judgmental when it comes to our younger generation, just because they're just stepping out in the world, you know. So they're still like in their bubble shell, so don't judge them at all. Yeah, I just have a little bit of photo here of how things can work about success, future, family, job, and everything. So my first theorist is Erickson, and I have a short video about his 8 stages, but I also have a picture here, how it starts from infancy, then early childhood, preschool, school age, adolescence, young adulthood, middle adulthood, and then it comes to maturity, which also comes with more responsibility and more um, just life things. These stages help us with generativity because there is caring and understanding that needs are included. That's what Erickson explains to us very nicely. The other one I have is their slogan, and he defines generativity as adults' concern for and commitment to promoting the development and well-being of future generation. Logan was the first one, is what I believe, who had a theory on gender differences and how that would affect the generativity amongst us. This is again a picture on how he thinks that things could go systematically. And then gender roles and generativity is men would generally have more practical view towards life, and women would have practical with an emotional and an additional to the emotional side of the response. In the end, though, it all comes down to civility, respect, and communication is what my perspective of gender roles play. Um, how does one's personality contribute as a factor? I did not take the test, which you did, but personality is a part of ourselves that we tend to grow till we die. It could change hundreds of times, or as I like to say, because we meet different people on average, let's just say daily, through social media, walks, grocery shopping, and work. We pick up ideas, analogies we like, and we try to implement them in our little space or in our family. And those are picked by our younger generations. Third, our personality is crucial while growing up, and being the leader of the group or play as a role model, as what we depict is what the young generation would understand. Generativity is in near life. My sister is the biggest factor for me just because I think I'm the elder one in the family. So she has learned a lot from me, and I've learned a lot from my mother. I have just a short video of how we can get along with our younger siblings. If it does play, I will be great. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Okay, then let me see again.
Maybe try copying and pasting the YouTube
I'm just
link.
gonna share my screen. I think that would be easier. It's
Oh yeah,
just
I see it right there.
We don't have to go to the entire video just because it's 3 minute long, but his main
Mhm.
steps say that like don't forget who you were and even you were little and how even bigger even like you make mistakes, so do we. So forgiveness and communication is the key basically. So yeah, that is there's a Superman or Wonder Woman you can say in the beginning of the photo.
Mhm.
Um, then okay. How generativity help us in career choices? As adults, we know what part of career excels more and where we can find reviews. They are youngsters, so their goals can range from playing a sport to becoming a scientist. It becomes our responsibility to give them resources to whatever they want. I am currently doing I'm currently assisting as a therapist for kids on special needs. I work with kids on spectrum, and I manage their behaviors. And I also implement strategies to help them cope with social activities if they are having difficulties. So that is my career choice at the moment. Steps we can take to increase generativity, engage in engage in activities with our siblings and family members, have younger friends too, so we can guide them, volunteer for groups, learn from our elders, and also make our youngsters understand the concepts that we are familiar with. Of course, don't force it. Never judge anyone because everyone has a different story, and we cannot, or we can or cannot benefit from it. From it, it helps to build a strong team, of course. The benefits are it ranges all the way from person related antecedents to literally career outcomes. So it's all on the picture. But the main motive of it, the main motive of generativity is that it needs motivation and behavior, which this theory helps a lot in school, work, pa- parental, societal, technical, and cultural goals. And then these are my references. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Good job.
Thank
I don't have
you.
any real questions really. I liked how throughout your whole presentation you talked about how like you can also learn from the younger generation. Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like a lot of like older people, they kind of have like a sense of pride. And so they'd be like, oh, like you're younger than me, like I don't need to learn anything from you.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I think that's like I kind of feel like it's a pivotal part of the developmental stages too,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like go with in between the with maturing and generativity, because if you have that mindset where you can learn from them too,
That is
um,
such a great
both
point
y'all
to put.
benefit.
The maturity. It's such a great point to put because I think as adults or even as kids, not even just being a elder sibling, even if you're like 5 years old, that maturity just comes that you are an
Mhm.
elder and you need to like support your younger ones. And it's very tricky over there. I like how you make that point. It's very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, other than that, your presentation was really good. I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Glad. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.